The fortress. Let's start with one most people miss. Do you live a double life? Not a secret job or hidden identity, but a private inner world that no one has access to. You might have friends, colleagues, even a partner, but you rarely tell them what you're actually thinking or feeling. You deflect questions. You change the subject. You listen to everyone else's problems for hours, but when the attention turns to you, you shut it down. This is the fortress. You learned early that information is ammunition. If people know what you want, they can deny you. If they know what hurts you, they can use it. So you became strategic, private, unreadable. You're not being mysterious, you're being tactical. Here's the cost. No one ever truly knows you. You can be surrounded by people and still be completely alone. They don't have a relationship with you. They have a relationship with your representative. And the cruel irony? The walls that once protected you are now the prison keeping you hidden. The giver. Now let's talk about something more subtle. Does receiving help make you uncomfortable? Compliments, gifts, someone paying for dinner. Do you immediately deflect it, downplay it, or fight to give something back? This isn't politeness, it's panic. To the hyper-independent brain, a gift isn't kindness, it's debt, because somewhere in your past, generosity came with strings attached. Help wasn't free. It cost autonomy. So now you reject the gift to avoid the obligation. You'd rather struggle alone than feel beholden to anyone. But here's what hurts the most. The people offering you help aren't keeping score. They're not trying to control you. They're just trying to love you. And because you've been trained to see love as a trap, every act of kindness feels like a threat. So you go home and struggle in private, telling yourself you're protecting your independence, when really you're protecting your loneliness. The soloist. This one usually wears a badge of honor. Do you hate group projects? Do you believe, if I want it done right, I have to do it myself? You probably think it's because others are incompetent, but the real issue is control. Delegating means trusting someone else with your safety, and your nervous system sees that as an unacceptable risk. So you take on everything. You do the work of 3 people just to avoid relying on one. You're not a control freak because you like power. You're controlling because you're trying to prevent a disaster only you can see coming. Here's the trap. Even when you succeed, even when you pull off the impossible alone, you don't feel relief. You just feel tired, because tomorrow you'll have to do it all again. The machine. Now let's talk about your body. Do you feel guilty when you're sick? Do you power through the flu, ignore injuries, avoid doctors until things get critical? This is the machine. You learned that having needs was dangerous, so you disconnected from them. In neglectful environments, crying doesn't bring comfort, it brings consequences. So you shut the signal off. You treat your body like equipment, run it until it breaks, then act surprised when it does. Your body has been trying to talk to you for years. You just trained yourself not to listen, because somewhere inside, you believe that if you stop, if you rest, if you need help, you'll be abandoned. The dismisser. This one hides in plain sight. Do needy people irritate you? Public crying, constant reassurance, emotional dependence? Do you feel a flash of contempt? That's not judgment. That's projection. You aren't disgusted by them. You're disgusted by the part of yourself you were forced to kill. You had to bury your own vulnerability to survive, so seeing it in others feels offensive. And here's the cost. You don't just judge them, you judge yourself. Every need, every emotion, every moment of softness, you crush it. And people feel that energy, so they stop opening up to you, not because they don't need support, but because they're afraid of your judgment. The prepper. Do you obsess over financial independence, exit strategies, backup plans? Do you always have one foot out the door? You don't plan for the future, you plan for catastrophe. You're constantly bracing for loss. You think this keeps you safe, but what it actually does is prevent you from ever arriving. People can feel that you're halfway gone. And the tragedy, the escape route you maintain for protection, is the very thing preventing safety. The editor. Do you only share your problems after you've solved them? You lose your job on Tuesday. You don't call a friend to cry. You panic. You update your resume. You apply to 20 places. You get a new offer on Friday. And only then do you call your friend to say, "Hey, I switched jobs." This is the editor. You believe that your struggle is a burden, but your success is a contribution. So you edit out the messy middle. You present the finished product of your life, never the rough draft. You think this makes you low maintenance, but here's the tragedy. Connection happens in the mess. Trust is built in the uncertainty. By only letting people see you at the finish line, you rob them of the chance to run the race with you. You get the applause, but you never get the support. The ghost. This one hurts relationships the most. When things get hard, you disappear. You stop replying. You go quiet. You isolate. You believe your pain is a burden, so you vanish until you're fixed. But love doesn't work that way. People don't want the perfect version of you. They want the real one. When you disappear, you're not sparing them. You're shutting them out. Intimacy isn't built on strength. It's built on being seen at your worst and not abandoned. Extra. The scout. Now here's the reframe that changes everything. You're not broken. Evolutionary psychology describes two survival roles: villagers, who survived through connection, and scouts, who survived alone. Scouts had to be hyper-independent, hyper-alert, self-reliant. No one was coming to save them. If that sounds like you, it's because your brain was forged in survival. Hyper-independence saved your life, but you're not in the wilderness anymore. The war is over. And the skills that protected you then are costing you connection now. So, how many did you recognize? If it was a lot, take a breath. You don't need to burn the fortress down. Just lower the drawbridge 1 inch. Let one person help with one small thing. It will feel terrifying, but that fear is just an outdated alarm system. You were built to survive alone, but you were meant to live together. If this resonated, subscribe. We break down the psychology behind the feelings you can't put to words. And if you want to go deeper, watch 8 Signs of Generational Trauma, because the scout is often inherited. Thanks for being here. You don't have to carry it alone anymore.